I'm going to start the recording and start the stream. Welcome to Horsin Around, a very dumbass cast. I am your host, as usual, Nick Mercadante, and with me I have one lovely guest if they would like to introduce themselves on their Starbucks Wi-Fi. Now they lagged out again. Okay. Well, Angela's here. I told her that the show's starting at 4 p.m., and she's like, all right, yeah, I can do that. And so then I say at 3:50 p.m., hey, hop in a voice call and I can move you into the stream channel. She's like, okay. And then she shows up in her car, and then I can't hear what she's saying. And it's because she's out doing Christmas shopping. At the time that I told her ahead of time when it was happening and that she agreed to. So basically, it's business as usual. Brayden might be hopping on in a couple minutes, and Angela may come back or not. Or maybe I'll just be talking to myself for an hour, so that'll be cool. We were going to talk about the Mandalorian season finale, because that happened yesterday, and I definitely have some opinions on it. First general opinion, very good. Very, very exciting season finale, and sets up a lot of cool things for what may happen in the future, especially the after-credits stinger. That was very good. I also saw the new Ruby episode. I think this is the last one that they did before hiatus.
Kobe's coming.
Yeah? Uh-huh.
Kobe's coming.
Okay.
I think.
Very
Have
cool.
you heard anything I've said so far?
No, I haven't. This is literally the first thing I've
God!
heard from you since I started the recording. So that's cool. Alright, I'm moving Kobe in. Alright, we also have Kobe now. Hi, Kobe.
Shalom.
Thank you, Kobe.
Wow, are you just embarrassed to be with Murky? I see how it is.
No!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, literally, her asking me if
Are you in your
if
car?
Kobe... Yeah, she is. You know how I told her yesterday that the show's happening at 4 p.m.? She's like, yeah, I can show up for that. And then we come to today at 3:50 p.m. and I say hop in a voice channel, and lo and behold, she's in her car on Chipotle Wi-Fi, getting some Chipotle.
Oh my god.
So thank you for swoosing right in, and single-handedly saving the show from me just talking to myself, because that's what I was doing the first 5 minutes.
Did you
I was
watch
just
Mandalorian?
talking to myself. Yes, I did. I saw the season finale, and I think it's
What'd you think?
very good. And I'm gonna just throw it out here right now that we're gonna
Fucking
spoil it. So if you haven't seen the season finale yet, go and watch it immediately. 'Cause it's
Murky,
very
Come
good.
back.
can I piss you off in one sentence?
Oh, I know. They already said what you're gonna say last night, and I already disagree with you. But go off.
That they fixed Luke. They did Luke better in 10 minutes than they did in the whole 2-hour movie. with
Yeah,
Last
but guess
Jedi.
what? He still
100%.
fucking goes the way he does in The Last Jedi. This doesn't change anything, okay? It doesn't change shit.
Yeah,
Just
but
because
it
he's
was
trying
a
to do good
badass
now
move.
doesn't mean that he still has his fucking moment of weakness, and he still fucks up because he's human. He's not space
They're gonna
Jesus.
retcon Last Jedi. They're gonna retcon.
They're not. They're not gonna do that. They literally didn't, and they aren't going to.
Let Brayden in. He's
Okay.
viewer channels.
There we go. Hi, Brayden.
Hello.
What's poppin'?
Hello.
How's it going?
Have you seen The Mandalorian season finale, sir?
Okay.
Okay.
So,
You
what's
there?
up?
Hi. What's going on?
Have you seen The Mandalorian?
Yeah.
What do you think?
All right. So, at first, okay, like, are we at spoilers yet? Like, am I allowed
yes.
to-
I've already put
okay.
down the spoiler gauntlet, so you are free to
Okay.
go.
Should my webcam be on? That's the other question.
If you wanted to, I'm not gonna force you to do it, but yeah.
Okay, give me a minute.
Okay.
All right.
Welcome.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
So,
I could have sworn you were wearing a Wawa shirt, but then I saw the logo.
yeah.
It's a bamboozle.
No. Yeah, it was a bamboozle. So, okay. So first of all, I'll say
Mhm.
the moment that you saw, like, the X-wing coming in.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, knew it.
I was like, we know who that is. And then I was like,
Yep.
no, there's no way that's who it is. I was like, I'm lying to myself. And then he just starts chopping people up
Yes!
like the butcher. He's like, chop, chop, chop. I'm here. Chop, chop, chop. The moment the green lightsaber came on, I felt the meat, the memberries welling up inside of me. Oh God.
It was so fucking good, dude. It was so good.
Dude, when he's like chopping these droids down,
Oh yeah.
and then what's his name? Moffat? No, not Moss.
Moff Gideon?
Grand Moss.
Oh.
Moff Gideon. Yes.
Yeah.
When Moff Gideon like goes from being like to like
Oh shit.
there's a
Oh,
moment where he realizes who's in the ship. He's like, oh. There's a moment where it clicks, and you see the actor like show dread on the face.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was so good. I think we should like just talk about the stuff leading up to it, just because there's like a lot of great things in this episode. But that definitely was like,
oh yeah,
the cream of the crop when that sequence started happening.
Dude,
So,
that's 2 seasons of build up. Because the entire time we're like,
Son.
where's Luke?
Yeah.
Where's Luke?
That whole scene was a reverse Darth Vader Rogue One scene.
Yo, it was.
Yeah,
It was because
yeah. Oh, it was so.
It
fucking
What I
was.
found
good.
was very interesting was how the robots, right when he landed on the ship, they stopped. Like they could tell the threat level
Yes.
almost.
Yes.
And they turned towards it.
They were like,
knew
oh
that they
shit.
were-
Yeah,
oh fuck.
Wow, even the fucking the robots knew that. Oh.
Yeah, dude, it was so fucking good. So like to start this episode, like just from the get go, like there were just great interactions for the entire episode when they went and found Bo-Katan again. And like they started giving Boba Fett shit for being a clone. Like that was like such great like prequel lore,
Dude.
like comeback shit. Oh my god.
when they're like, I've heard your voice before, and you're like,
it'll be the
yeah,
last
you
one you
probably
hear.
have.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, it was so goddamn good. Okay, and you guys have to correct me on this because I thought that Jango Fett wasn't a Mandalorian, that he got it off of somebody, but he was a Mandalorian.
So there's been a retcon.
Okay.
So now what it is that Jango was not a Mandalorian, but he was a lot like the Mandalorian, where he was not a Mandalorian, and then he was like brought into the culture
Okay.
and became a Mandalorian,
Yeah.
and then he passed that down to his son,
Yeah.
and that's
Son of
kind
clone.
of what he says when he says like, this was my father's suit and it was handed down to me. Like he inherited this like Mandalorianness
Okay.
from his father, even though not again, like you know how the Mandalorians
Right.
are
There's
like
different.
told the
There seems
Mandalorian,
to be
like,
different levels
yeah.
of how Mandalorian are you, like from
Yes, exactly.
Bo-Katan to like Mando zealot levels to like whatever Boba's doing.
I have a feeling that Bo-Katan, when she finds out that the Mandalorian is not a Mandalorian but is a Mandalorian,
Mm-hmm.
if you follow what I'm saying,
Yeah,
she's gonna like definitely.
Yeah, if
think that's
he
gonna be a
wasn't
problem.
like he wasn't like born on Mandalore. He's not like doesn't have like a bloodline or whatever. But he's like a found family Mandalorian thing.
He's a found.
Foundling.
A foundling.
Yeah, he's a foundling.
Yeah.
So Jango Fett is a foundling.
Okay.
Is the retcon basically?
I
And
see.
so is Mando.
That's
Yeah.
my
Yes.
understanding.
Yeah.
Most Mandalorians are foundlings. They are mostly like.
Yeah.
Well, I'd
orphans
assume
from
these
war
days
zones.
because they, apparently glassed fucking Mandalore. Also, love, like, I know it's completely unrelated, but as a fucking Halo nerd, hearing that they glassed fucking Mandalore just reeks Halo vibes. I'm like, oh my god, they fucked
The
that
funny
shit.
thing is, they actually continued the canon from Battlefront 2 with that, which is very surprising.
Like, the
Because
new Battlefront 2?
New Battlefront 2, the whole campaign surrounds Operation Cinder, and they said this is
Oh.
canon in the
Oh,
Skywalker
yeah.
saga.
I didn't know that had to
mentioned
do with
that.
Mandalore. That's...
Well, I mean, it was just about glassing everything, so.
I see. Okay. Yeah. No, and that was...
So-
was, like, a great fucking start. Sorry, go on.
So then they get them, right?
Right.
They have a fight, they get them, and then they go to space and they capture the scientists, right?
Yep.
That's the next thing that happens.
Yeah. Oh,
I thought that
and
was
then-
very interesting he was very quick to like explain how to win. He was like, yeah, I don't really care. Here's what you have to do.
The man is a man
He's
of
like,
science,
"This is where
and
everything is."
he's already done his like science shit, so he's just like, fuck it, I don't want to die here. This is fine.
I feel like I'm surprised they didn't just like kill him off. I feel like he's probably a liability at this point,
well,
right?
that's
Like,
I mean the shit, what's her name? Fuck, buff lady.
Cara
Cara Dune.
Cara Dune, yeah.
Cara
She was like saying that same thing with Moff Gideon. They like New Republic wants them for questioning and stuff like that. So that's probably why they kept them alive.
Which leads into plant another seed for one of the new shows, because the Mandalorian season 2 planted seeds for all the new shows. Like you got Rangers of the New Republic, Ahsoka, then Book of Boba Fett, which we can talk about later because that was the after credit scene.
Yeah, God, that was so fucking cool. But in that scene though, like
Fucking
another
Red
great
Bridge
character
between them.
interaction between like the pilot that was just gonna murder the scientist and then did murder his co-pilot, and
that was so
Cara Dune.
sick. He was the guy that was like, I was there. How many millions died on those ships?
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
which ship? And it's like, we've never seen that.
Yeah.
Like, we've never seen the Nazi stormtrooper being
Yeah.
like, how many men died?
Yeah, it was so, and it was kind of
that's
like
sick.
it was like a nice little continuation of sort of the same kind of rhetoric that was being done in the last episode with
Yes.
Mando's
It was-
buddy. Where
it
the
was
superior
basically like
officer-
the terrorists call them terrorists.
right, yeah, it's just like
So,
It was sick though. It was like, because like obviously like what's the name of the planet? Alderaan was blown up before the Death Star was blown up. But like for it almost sounded like he was like, you know, we blew up Alderaan because he blew up the Death Star. It's like, well, obviously, it's almost like that's how they think of it, you know?
Right, yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, we wouldn't have had to blow up that. We wouldn't have had to blow up Alderaan if you hadn't planned to blow up the Death Star.
In his,
like,
in
yeah, I
his
guess
and
you're
their
right,
like, in his and their like mind views, they were like, well, here, see, you retroactively proved our point because you did blow up this giant, you know, it happened to be a military, you know, superstructure, but it also housed, all these troops that were just trying to keep the peace. It's just like, fuck you, like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, and if you think about it, right? If you think about it, that is the legal government of.
Yeah. They
of that.
so they
Like-
in
like,
the
there
Empire's
was a-
eyes,
there
the
was a-
rebels were fucking terrorists, but like, you know,
Yeah,
when
like,
you build a
there
super
was
death
a-
weapon.
There was a semi-peaceful transition of power from the Republic to the
Just because
Empire,
Palpatine
right? Like,
was pulling all the strings. He was just like,
yeah. So it's kind of interesting. Like, imagine you're like your family was murdered. Your family was like part of the Separatists, right?
Yeah.
And then they're murdered by Jedi at some point, right? And then the Republic's like, hey, now that we've destroyed the Separatists, we really need to deal with this Jedi problem.
Yeah.
Like, I just think that's a fascinating.
there's
part of
a
it, like, Star
there's a
Wars
lot
lore.
of cool politics in Star Wars. It's just that the prequels did a very terrible job of making them interesting. Like, they set up a lot of cool things, but then, you know, you have to wait for all of this expansion content for it to actually be cool. Which is a
I mean,
bummer,
like,
but
all the Clone Wars stuff is. Oh, I'm so. I mean, we're obviously like way off track here, but I'm so excited for the Bad Batch.
Oh,
Oh, my
yeah.
god,
Great.
I cannot wait for that. It's gonna be sick.
yeah.
So I guess
Back to Mandalorian, I just want to bring up, dude, the scene with the Dark Trooper acting like a Terminator was awesome.
Dude, can we talk about the music that they used
Oh, that
for
went hard.
the Dark Trooper stuff? It was like some
Dude,
it was like-
legit dubstep, and I'm just like, all right,
Yeah,
you
it
know
was.
what? This kind of fucking slaps.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I was like, we're really using dubstep in 2020 for supervillains. And then the longer it went, I was like, oh, this actually fits.
This is actually
Oddly, very
really
oddly in this
fucking
Star
cool.
Wars.
Yeah.
It went hard, and I so appreciate that it went hard.
Yeah, like they could have very easily done like some more, I don't know, classical, you know, evil villain music kind of symphony stuff, but like I'm glad they went with that more bold choice because I think it pays off, and I'm definitely gonna think about that music like more often than I'm gonna think about some other like villain, you know, background
Right.
stuff or whatever.
I don't know about that. I listened to the Star Wars lo-fi hip hop beats on Spotify, and I think about that quite a bit.
I mean, there's a lot of good Star Wars music, and I mean, Mandalorian is no exception. Like a lot of tracks from that have become super memorable.
Oh, the Mandalorian theme is like so good. And then when they played like an altered version of the Mandalorian theme, when he handed off the child, I was like,
yeah. Passing of the guard. It was fucking incredible. And so they get onto the ship and they do their fight sequence and stuff. There's a lot of great stuff in there that we can talk about. Cara Dune just fucking beating the shit out of stormtroopers with her jammed gun was really fun to watch.
Dude, I will not get over that gun.
I'm kind of confused though. Like, I genuinely am kind of confused. I'm like, why would they say it's jammed? Like, it would make more sense if it was like overheated. I don't really know how it could be jammed.
I'm sure there's
because there are those two like you would see on a real gun. There are like two like
there's like magazine kind of things.
Yeah.
But
so maybe like there's like the lasers are literally like slotted into like batteries, and so like if a battery gets caught,
this is definitely not.
Fire.
I don't think it's any of our areas of expertise. There's definitely some deep lore that explains how guns work in Star Wars.
Let me email Dave Filoni.
But
dude,
I think it might like
he is so good.
Yeah,
he has done such a good job with this.
Oh my god, hands down.
He's like he's honestly I feel like he's making some like power moves in like the Disney Star Wars like branding group, because he's done Mando now, and he did like Rebels and Clone Wars. Clone Wars definitely was a huge success. Rebels was like it kind of grew into itself down the line.
Good. Some people had a hard time with it, but I really enjoyed it.
I still need to keep watching it, because like I started it, but I just need to get back to it.
My faith in Star Wars has been restored, like now that like Favreau and Filoni are overseeing all the new properties.
Dude, they're so good. I honest to God hope that they just put them in charge of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they just make Star Wars movies till they die. No problems.
So now he's got like the Bad Bunch, and that's like it seems like he's gonna have work doing Star Wars related things, if not the movies, just any Star Wars related thing for a long time, which is dope.
It seems like Star Wars is moving its focus from movies to television.
Yeah, because the movies shit the bed.
Yeah, and I'm actually a huge fan of that.
So hard that they're just like, all
right.
right.
And then Mando was like that first Star Wars TV show, like consistent TV show, and it was just such a huge success.
Yeah.
Start pumping out a whole bunch of different ones.
It is just incredible. Like I've said it before on here, and I'll say it again, but like the fact that pretty much every piece of Star Wars media, like arm of the Star Wars brand, besides the movies, has been doing cool things like for a while now. Like Jedi Fallen Order, great Star Wars game. And like all the TV shows and stuff. It's like, damn, why could the movies just be like this? You know, wouldn't that be cool? But
I was gonna say, like, with everything moving to TV shows, I don't mind it. Like, as much as I love movies, I like TV like content better because it's long form. I get more story.
Yeah,
like
you're getting like way more hours of content through TV shows than you would through the movies, and they don't have to compress things because of it.
Yeah, I honestly think that they just need to keep doing these TV shows. It's been proven to me that they're not capable of making a movie, and I'm okay with that.
I mean, the one new movie that's coming out from the things they announced, I have hope for, because it's the Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins. She's making a Rogue Squadron movie, which I think should be good.
Yeah. And there was the Obi-Wan... Was the Obi-Wan thing supposed to be a movie, but then they turned it into a TV show?
It was always supposed to be a show, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I'm still looking forward to that.
Doing one season.
Yes.
That's fine. I don't think there's really, like... It's... I mean, there's interesting stories you can tell with Obi-Wan, obviously, between end of episode 3 and the start of episode 4. But, like, I think it would be, like, it should be more of, like, a shorter love letter to both, like, the character from the original trilogy and, you know, Ewan McGregor single-handedly carrying the prequel trilogy.
Like, here's the thing, like, yeah, there's interesting stories to tell, but part of that's already been done in Rebels. Like, I only need to know a little bit more, and then I'm fine. I'm satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah. So then back to Mando, just to keep going through it. So yeah, Dark Troopers, cool as fuck theme. They have to get charged up to activate. So that's what the timer they're working on for the first like half of that assault. And then Mando gets there. He manages to close the door, but not before one of them gets through. And then he has a really cool fight where they're basically showing off how fucking strong these guys are, because he almost gets murdered by it, and he's just his Beskar helmet is withstanding the hits, so then this robot is punching him into the wall, and it's just insane to watch. And then he only gets out of it because he pulls out that fucking dope ass Beskar spear and stabs him through the throat with it. And then he's able to.
That spear survived so much. That spear is only from this season, and it's already been a core aspect of 3 episodes. I feel like we've seen that spear really do some work.
Oh yeah, that spear. I mean, basically they just took the idea of all right, Beskar armor really good, is able to stop fucking Darksaber. What if we made Beskar weapon now? And turns out Beskar weapon also very good. So then
the thing where whoever wins with the dark, whoever defeats the other in combat,
Clone Wars thing
it's
just
just
brought
dumb.
back.
Sabine gave
So,
it to
this
the
is
Pope.
where I feel like there's a consistent theme, at least for the last couple of episodes, which is the clashing between being traditional and also accepting the new times and stuff like that. Because when Mando was first introduced and he was to Bo-Katan and he was you're not actually Mandalorians, they called him a traditionalist because he refused to take his helmet off. And yet for this, she won't accept it, and he's just take it. And so that's her also struggling to try to keep this tradition of fighting for this weapon. And so it's she's contradicting herself, and then he's also contradicting himself, as both of them are agreeing and also disagreeing with going with traditions. And I think that's a really interesting theme
that
they're kind of going for,
dealing with the hypocrisy of some traditions, and how carrying them through can really fuck things up.
That Bill Burr episode was really great, where he's can you not show him your face, or do you have to wear the mask all the time? Because they're two very different things.
Right.
I really loved that. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah. But yeah, so then he takes out that Dark Trooper and is able to launch the rest of them out into space, and then he finds the child, but Moff Gideon is there with him, and it turns out, surprisingly, well, I mean, I guess it doesn't really pan out because he still attacks him in the end, but he's we just wanted to get the child's blood. We didn't want to kill him or whatever. We just wanted his M count, or his M cells, which are the metachlorians that apparently they're using to, surprise, surprise, make the fucking the Palpatine clones.
No, they're making Snoke first.
Well, yeah, that is a Palpatine clone.
Snoke is a failed clone of Palpatine.
That's why
Do we know that for sure? What is that from?
That's from The Rise of Skywalker.
Did they say that in the last movie?
Yeah, they there's literally in the first intro scene where Palpatine is reintroduced and Kylo Ren's walking in. He walks past a bunch of tubes that have other Snokes in them, and then Palpatine's these are all my fucking failed clone attempts, with Snoke being the best one, which was still fucking awful because the dude was a cripple.
So I just want to ask a question that Angela asked me last time we were watching. Since Grogu now is with Luke and is at his Padawan school, does that mean Kylo Ren killed Grogu?
No, he definitely murdered him. Yeah, Kylo Ren definitely murdered a tiny fucking gremlin child. And that is
he did escape. He escaped from another Holocaust.
That is true. Again. He could escape another one.
He escaped 66.
Yeah. Also.
Yeah, he's going to be 70. Wait. So I saw this theory online, and so this is what someone else pointed out. So Yoda was a Jedi Master by 100.
Okay.
And Grogu's 55 at this point. This is 2 years after.
Yoda's 100 in the prequels?
No, he becomes a Jedi Master at 100.
I think
so. In the prequels.
Oh.
Yeah, he's 600 years old, but he became a Jedi Master at 100, and the baby is 55 years old or something like that.
Okay.
And at this point in time, Kylo would be 2 years old, and Kylo is 22 or 23 when he kills everyone.
Okay.
So that's 20 years roughly of development, and if he's already 55, he's gonna be around 75. And if Yoda became a Jedi Master at 100, I feel like he legit might be able to fight him off.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, and also I feel like I don't know. As funny as it is for me to imagine that Kylo Ren just fucking murks this tiny ass gremlin child in the Jedi Training Academy, they probably won't kill him off. Like if they're gonna do any like post Episode 9 content, they probably would want to bring Grogu back just because like he's been so fucking popular already.
I want Ahsoka and the child fucking around in after Episode 9.
How old is Ahsoka? Like in the Mandalorian?
At that point, she'd be like, well, she time traveled. Remember? So like,
I haven't seen Rebels.
So here's the question: Is Mandalorian right now? Is this before the end of Rebels or after the end? Because that's where the timeline's a little funky. Is that last episode was Ahsoka? Where does this take place right now? Where she's at in Mandalorian? Is this before or after that?
This is after. Because she says like the Thrawn thing, like where's Thrawn? Doesn't he disappear at the end of Rebels?
Yeah, he disappears with Ezra, and then Ahsoka and Sabine are basically exploring the galaxy looking for Ezra. So what I assume is that she probably got wind of where Thrawn was, and then maybe Sabine got wind of where Ezra was, and they maybe split up. But I think that's what Ahsoka, like her TV series, is gonna
I agree.
Into is them looking for Ezra.
And that's when we get Thrawn live action.
Jesus fucking
That's gonna be wild.
Terrified.
That's gonna be so good. That's gonna be so good.
There's so many good things that they're setting up.
I think because just Ahsoka's lifetime, I think is like 200 years. Like her expected, like she can live for 200 years. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, roughly.
And I'm pretty sure that because of the time travel, she skipped like 10, 15 years, right?
Okay.
I don't know.
I think so. So I think that means like she definitely has another like 100 years of solid content ahead of her. So
we can milk her for another 100 years, guys.
That's the plan.
Yeah. God, I want to see her with the fucking Shakti, like super long Leku, like.
Yes.
That'd be so fucking dope.
Tiny nubs. I wanted her to have huge horns and really long.
I don't know.
Damn.
Also, like imagining her going through all the sequel content and just being like, "Yeah, man, Jedi are fucked up. Man, I made a good choice by leaving the Jedi Order. This shit's fucking stupid."
I kind of wish she like told him like, "I'm no Jedi. Like I'm not."
Yeah, I mean, but she did say that. Like she was like, she was like, "I won't train the." I mean, I guess she did it because more so that he was already attached to which
is also weird, right? Like I didn't think that she'd care about the attachment, you know? I guess because of Anakin she'd learned.
Yeah, she clearly said like she doesn't want to train him because she's seen someone gone down this path before, which is Anakin.
Yeah. And Luke hasn't.
Right back. I'm gonna see if they made my fucking bowl because it's been like 30 minutes.
Okay.
All right, I'll be right back.
Godspeed on your Chipotle quest.
All right.
So then Moff Gideon's there. Moff Gideon explains why they wanted the child. And then he's like, all right, just let me leave and with the Darksaber, and then I'll let you have the child. And surprise, it was a fucking lie. And then that's another great fight where he's just like on the defensive play.
Turns out that was a fucking lie.
That was a fucking lie. And so he tries to fight Mando, and thanks to the Beskar, he's able to withstand the Darksaber attacks, but it's very a pretty close fight, and I think it's well choreographed. The way he uses the Beskar staff in the second half of it, like pretty fucking dope. When
he puts it down and kicks it up and hits Moff
in
the face.
That's what I was. Yeah, there were some moments I couldn't remember specifics of, but that was definitely one of them that stood out. It's just like that was a super dope moment. And so then that he eventually is able to overwhelm Gideon, kick away the Darksaber, and that's the fight. And then he brings it back up to the bridge. He has the child, and then that's where we get that interaction with Bo-Katan about how, technically Mandalore is now rightfully ruled by the Mandalorian, which is so like I'm wondering if they'll do anything with that for next season.
I think we're not going to see him anymore. I think we're done with.
Why would we be done with the titular character?
Mandalorian got renewed for season 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is the book of Boba Fett? Is that a different series?
Yeah.
Do we know that for sure?
Yeah, that is confirmed. That's going to be his own show.
Oh my God.
Okay. So I assume that. I assumed that Mandalorian was just going to be Boba
I've
Fett.
been ready.
Like, okay.
No.
It's still Mando's story. So
Yeah.
this is gonna be an interesting turning point, like talking about ideas for the next season, because these 2 seasons very much focused on his relationship with the child. Now the child, he is like had this narrative, conclusion. He's had this closure by saying goodbye to the child and handing him off to Luke and that whole thing. So now it's like, well, we're kind of obviously he's changed, but like we're sort of back to that point at the first episode of season 1 where he's just like on his own. And so I'm curious what they'll try and do with that, where they might go with that. I mean, it would be kind of crazy, and I wouldn't be completely opposed to them maybe changing the narrative to focus on somebody else. But I also think there's
focus on the Darksaber.
Yeah.
So I just did a quick read. So the Book of Boba Fett is coming out December 2021, and season 3 of The Mandalorian is coming out 2021. But we don't know what the Book of Boba Fett is. They haven't announced what that is exactly.
Oh, it's probably based on what that ending credits stinger was, which was also fucking dope as hell.
Yeah, I was talking to my coworker today about that, and he hadn't seen it. And I was like, "Oh, you need to go see that.
You need to watch this right now." But yeah, so then there's the whole conversation about the Darksaber and Mandalore, and Bo-Katan clearly is not happy that she did not get to fight Gideon for that Darksaber.
I don't know why. I don't know why she couldn't just like be like, "Ah, yes, like, thank you." Let's all pretend this didn't happen.
Traditional.
Yeah.
So what's really weird is that at the end of Rebels, Sabine just fucking gives it to her. She doesn't fight Sabine for it. Sabine's the one that she found the Darksaber. He called out to her. Sabine got the Darksaber, and then there was this big battle. And then at the end of the battle, she just gave it to Bo-Katan. They didn't fight or anything. And then boom, Bo-Katan was the Mandalore. And so like, why now? So that's kind of like made me think that maybe she felt like guilty from before. And obviously she only has like 2 other Mandalorians with her when she lost it. So like maybe people thought that she wasn't the rightful ruler, and so this time around she like wants to do it right because she gets like a type of respect from her people.
Okay, like this is gonna go into like the fucking like Harry Potter Elder Wand rules bullshit, but like if Bo-Katan got it illegitimately, according to the tradition thing, from Sabine, and then she lost it to Moff Gideon somewhere down the line, wouldn't it still revert ownership back to Sabine just because nobody actually fought Sabine for it? Or do they just not care after there was some fight where Moff Gideon got his hands on it?
I don't think that's the thing.
Okay.
I don't think it's like the Elder Wand or like it's supposed to be somebody's.
Because you could go down some real bullshit rabbit holes with that kind of idea.
Yeah. But I was talking to Kobe the other night about the significance of the color of the saber. So do you guys know like how like the meaning behind like a blue saber, or if you get a green saber, or obviously red? So like red is like
it's unstable,
emotion and aggressiveness and stuff like that. Purple is you use like both dark side and light side. And then green is where you truly want peace between and like balance, and then blue is of course like the Jedi way. And so like that also correlates into yellow, which is like being a protector, and so you see all the guards of the Jedi, they usually have the yellow lightsabers. And so the significance with black is self-obsession. It's like narcissism and like basically power hungry. And so I kind of feel like there's a significance of whoever holds this saber, that it kind of like changes them into, because she's like running around like, I want the saber, like she's obsessed over this lightsaber. Like she can't do anything without it. Like she can't go back to Mandalore until she has this saber. So I feel like the significance of the not only the color of the lightsaber, but it's also like changing whoever wields it.
Interesting. I thought that like the dark saber was wholly separate from like other typical sabers just because it was like designed so differently, because it looks completely different from all the other sabers. Like it's got like a curved
It's like a knife.
top edge. Yeah, exactly. Like a really long knife, and the hilt is like weird rectangular shaped or whatever. Super cool looking, obviously aesthetically fucking A+, but I didn't know that about it being tied into the rest of the color representation thing. So that's pretty interesting. But then so they have that conversation, and then the Dark Troopers, there's like a whole bunch of more of them that just show up, and they're gonna fucking break into the bridge where they're all at, and they're gonna fuck them up. And then obviously Luke comes in on his X-Wing, because he got Grogu's call from 2 episodes ago, and fucking just goes to town on him in a very cathartic sequence that was so fun to watch. And then Moff Gideon tries to kill Bo-Katan and the child, which Mando like jumps in the way, does like the heroic sacrifice, but at this point, just the Beskar is just like so fucking OP. Just like, yeah, he's fine. I thought Bo-Katan might have, like, I didn't realize that. I guess she's also wearing like full Beskar, or at least very good armor, because she just got up from it. Like, I thought that was gonna be a thing where maybe she died or something, which would play even more into the idea of like next season is Mando just being like, I guess I'm the ruler of Mandalore now? What's up with that? But Bo-Katan gets up, so I guess she's fine. And then at the end, he literally just tries to kill himself, and then Cara Dune stops that. So he was really not looking forward to seeing a Jedi in person, which is really like, you know, good comeuppance for that asshole. And then Luke shows up. What did you guys think? Was that de-aging? Was that another actor? It said Mark Hamill in the credits, so I assumed that was him de-aged.
It was Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill just de-aged.
Okay.
Even though I appreciate Mark Hamill, and like I know he's having fun doing this, part of me wishes that they could have went the route of casting Sebastian Stan. Because if you ever seen that picture of Sebastian Stan as Luke, it is identical, and like that would have been the perfect way to like get approval from Mark Hamill and like kind of ease way like if you want to keep bringing back Luke, because Mark Hamill's old, like he can't do this much longer.
He's ready to retire. That man has had a good long career, and I mean, he is having fun with it. So let him keep having fun, I guess. But that de-aging,
it looked good until he started talking.
He wanted to do this to kind of like redeem Luke, because like they made him come back, and like they made Luke such a fucking asshole hermit that in the EU, like he was completely the opposite. And so I don't know, I feel like seeing this chance and almost like trusting Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, he saw it as a chance to like redeem Luke in some way or another. And this awesome badass sequence of him just fucking shit up. So it was super dope.
And I think they definitely kept the hood on him for those fights. One, because it looked cool, and 2, because they didn't have to show the DH face for longer than they needed to.
I kind of wish they had brought in the new actor for this, but if this is the last time we see Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker, I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
I agree.
I also just, like, I legitimately was wondering if it was a different actor, because I don't know.
I agree. I had the same thought. I didn't know until this conversation. I thought it might have been like a CGI'd on top of.
Yeah, in the credits it said and Mark Hamill like.
Yeah,
like the
but
cast,
I don't know. Like maybe I just need to watch the original trilogy again. But it didn't, like, his face looked way more, I don't know, square than it. Like it looked bigger.
So,
he's supposed to be older.
Yeah, I guess.
It's 2 years.
He has that kind of look
2 years.
in Battlefront. In Battlefront 2, in Battlefront 2, he had that look.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think they're going off of that because Battlefront 2 is right before Mandalorian.
Okay, so yeah,
also,
I guess that's fine.
Another thing also is that like his face got really fucked up from a car accident, and right after A New Hope came out. So his face is always like which one are you thinking of? You're thinking of New Hope, that's one face. Thinking of Empire, it's a different face.
I see.
So it's hard to,
Gotcha.
That's actually in the beginning when they he gets attacked by the whatever the fuck it is in the beginning of Empire.
Oh, by the Wampa?
That's why that happened. Yeah, the reason that happens is so that they have a reason that his face looks totally different. It's because
wow, I didn't know that.
he got in a really bad car accident like right around the time the movie premiered.
Yeah.
That's some new deep Star Wars knowledge that I was not aware of.
Huh.
But yeah, so then
What can I say?
he comes through and Rex's house, and then he comes and he's like, "Hi, I'm here to pick up your son," and there's this really nice moment where Mando like says his goodbyes to Grogu, and it's really heartfelt, and he takes off his mask again to say goodbye to him. It's just like, oh my god,
I think it's go ahead.
Narrative arc complete. And he's like, I love my son, so I'm going to let him see my face. I mean, he's seen his face, but like this is like the goodbye, so I need to show him this to like say goodbye, and I'm willing to give up the tradition to make this bond complete and like make a really heartfelt goodbye, which is mwah, cinematic.
Dude, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it right now.
It was really good. But also, I thought it was fucking hilarious that Bo-Katan did not know she was in the same room as the son of Anakin Skywalker.
Oopsies.
Wait, really? Wait, what's that?
Bo-Katan, because she saw him.
She was in.
Like, they interacted in the Clone Wars, didn't they? Or did they? Did they interact in Clone Wars? I thought it was Bo-Katan. Like Obi-Wan was on Mandalore a lot because of his connection to the Queen.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Anakin was there that often, if at all. Like, did Bo-Katan ever meet Anakin?
I thought so.
She definitely met Ahsoka in the Clone Wars.
Well, yes, she's his Padawan. I would hope that he met his Padawan in the Clone Wars.
No, Bo-Katan met Ahsoka.
Yes,
in the Clone
okay,
Wars.
yes, sorry, yeah. They met each other, and that's how they knew each other for this thing. But I don't think Anakin ever went to Mandalore. I think that was all Obi-Wan stuff in the Clone Wars TV show. But I think that's probably also it's been forever, so I'd be willing to let that one slide, even if they did meet.
Is she gonna be in the Obi-Wan show?
Probably not. Obi-Wan's in hiding for all that period of time, so he probably doesn't want to like roll up to figure out like deal with all the Mandalore shit while he's in hiding and just trying to make sure that Luke doesn't get found.
I mean, like,
the Obi-Wan
Darth
show.
Vader knows. Darth Vader knows he's alive. Like Anakin knows Obi-Wan is alive.
Oh yeah. Well, they already confirmed that for the show that Darth Vader and Obi-Wan are going to have the rematch of the century. Like that they're going to kind of redo a Revenge of the Sith duel.
Okay, can I be real here? I don't know if they need to do that. Like, I feel like Revenge of the Sith.
They do.
Yeah, but like Revenge of the Sith, for all of its flaws, like that fight was fucking cool. Like, I don't really need.
And we're gonna get a second one.
And we're gonna get a second one.
I don't know, dude. It just raises so many. I guess we'll see if they figure it out, and I do trust Dave Filoni, but like, how is he gonna fight Obi-Wan and then not like continue hunting him and like killing, like trying to find him and kill him?
He's gonna get his ass whooped, like absolutely whooped, and he's not gonna want to go.
Oh,
yeah, Anakin's gonna get his ass whooped.
I mean, that's gonna make sense that at the very in A New Hope that Obi-Wan finally just lets Anakin kill him.
All right, you know what? You've taken so many L's, Annie. I'm just gonna give you this one. That's what he actually said at the end there. He starts doing like a Fortnite dance. Oh my god!
Over his body.
That'd be so fucking funny, dude. But yeah, so then Grogu finally like, he beat. I think it's really funny that like he's sort of still hanging on to Mando, but then R2 rolls up. And Grogu's like, "Oh, this fucker! I remember you. I remember you in the temple." And then he,
actually,
yeah, I would imagine that he's probably seen R2 because Anakin like fucking had that droid rolling around with him everywhere. So,
wait. I just remembered. Wasn't Luke, he was blinded and he pushed Boba into the Sarlacc pit, right? It was Luke who pushed him into the Sarlacc pit.
No, Han Solo, because Chewie's like roaring at Han Solo. Han Solo's like, Boba Fett, Boba Fett, and he accidentally like swings his staff back and hits Boba's jetpack.
Yeah, which sets it off and sends him to the Sarlacc pit. Also, Boba, like I think I know
What
where
a
you're going with
shitty way
that.
to die, right?
Yeah,
Like,
wouldn't he have recognized if Boba was there?
Oh,
He would've
Boba wasn't there though.
recognized
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
off in
Oh,
his shit.
Boba would have had PTSD. He'd be like, what the fuck?
This fucking he would have just started shooting, dude. He would just been like, "Fuck this guy."
dude,
yeah.
dude, how cool is it that like Luke just brings around R2 just everywhere they go?
Yeah,
How
he's his
sick is
buddy.
that?
It is like, you know, I think it's another like overarching throughout Star Wars thing, the relationship between humans and their droids. Like it's A+, and like he just sort of like father like son, you know. R2 follows Luke everywhere like he used to follow Anakin everywhere. Obviously, when you think about it more, there's a lot of things that don't make sense that the prequels bring into play, where Anakin built C-3PO and then just like how they don't. I don't know.
They wipe their memory. They cover that. They do. They at the end of episode 3, they're like wipe the droid's memory.
Oh, okay.
They do that. Yeah, that's like a thing.
Okay.
They must also wipe Obi-Wan's memory because Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah, Obi-Wan also doesn't remember them.
He's like, I wonder who this droid is.
What a curious little R2 unit.
Yeah, that actually does piss me off. But
yeah, but oh well, you take what you can get, I guess. But yeah, so then Grogu goes off with them. Season ends, and then the final thing is that stinger after credits where Boba and his sidekick roll up to Jabba's old place, where they bring back the weird looking, like, I don't even know what, like, snake devil man thing, and he
was way fatter too.
Yeah, no, he
like let himself go.
That was Bib Fortuna.
I think inheriting the Hutt clan does that to you. You sit on that throne. You know what's gonna happen? We're gonna see Boba in this new show, and he's gonna be just fat as fuck. he's gonna be.
I love that.
He's gonna be just maintaining the Hutt legacy, and he's just gonna be fat as fuck. And it's gonna be real sad.
It's great. You know, let him be chubby. Let him live his life.
Let him take a rest. And then actually, you know what? That's gonna be able to give shit. What's that bounty hunter's name? The fuck. I don't remember her name, but you guys know who I'm talking about.
I can't remember her name.
Yeah, Boba's sidekick. That's how she's going to take the spotlight of that new show. It's gonna be Boba being like, "Hey, go do this thing. I'm too fat to do it." It's just gonna be her the whole time. Oh my god. Honestly though, the fucking like I've understood that Boba just has like a ridiculous amount of hype surrounding him despite not really being in the original trilogy that much. But like they really, you know, made him live up to the fucking hype this season. When they brought him back.
Boba was huge character in the EU. My dad read all of the entire books and like watched all the movies, and his favorite character over and all was Boba Fett. And so it's very similar for other people that Boba Fett was their favorite character because he's just fucking badass.
Yeah.
And so them giving him like finally the spotlight, he really deserves it because he's like everybody who knows anything about Star Wars more than the average person who's watched the movies, they love Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So
pans out.
They really like gave him the fucking the good shit this season, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like any scene he was in, he was fucking people up easily. It wasn't even close.
Yeah. Like again, that
every
scene
time
at the beginning of this episode where he and Bo-Katan subordinate like start getting into words with each other is like so he was killing it. And then I love the flamethrower like duel that they had at the end where they're just both shooting at each other and it cancels out in the middle. Just like, guys, come on.
Remember when he's like when the ships are getting away and he just flips up the thing and just
oh, it's so
like, that was so cool. I don't think I've ever seen a character in Star Wars just absolutely nuke people like that.
Yeah.
Sick.
It's fucking dope as hell.
Yeah, what I find really cool is that like every little nook and cranny of everything, like his armor, he could shoot fucking missiles out of his knees. Like
yeah, he has a fucking knee rocket. Like what the fuck? That's
insane. Got, like, little dirty tricks like up his sleeve. I was telling Kobe before that he's the one person who's not a Force wielder who has killed more Jedi than anybody else that isn't a Force wielder. And so, like, he has some fucking dirty tricks.
Has he killed Jedi in like other media? Or is that like EU stuff?
In the EU, it states that he was the one non-Force wielder. It's killed more Jedi than anybody else.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That makes sense too, right? Like he lived during the period of time when it was the easiest to kill lots of Jedi for money.
Yeah.
You know?
They were also that could also build into the whole like the fact that he had rapport with Darth Vader because he was probably employed specifically by him to hunt down these Jedi when he couldn't do it himself. Oh yeah. So like that does make sense that he would.
Darth Vader's knees were getting weak. He couldn't get out of
that. Darth Vader needs to get himself some knee rockets. Is what it sounds like. Oh man.
You know what I always wonder? Like, why don't Jedi fly? That's is there an explanation for this, Andrew?
I mean, they force jump, like, which is like
yeah, but that's annoying. But in Dragon Ball Z they force jump, and then eventually they force fly. Basically the same thing. They jump really high, and all of a sudden they stop falling for some reason. Like, why?
At least in the EU, it's described as all over the galaxy. There's different ways of people of different races on how they use the Force differently. And so that's why like Force lightning, that's a different type of using the Force, or like Force choke, and obviously like telekinesis, like pushing shit around or throwing shit.
Yeah.
But there's actually so many different other kinds of ways that a person can use the Force in a sense. So there probably is like some kind of flying shit. That's where it came into play in the EU because I think it was Luke. He had twins. And he had a twin girl and a twin son, and the son ran around everywhere in the galaxy learning these little pieces, and then he came back and then joined up with the Sith and then killed a fuck ton of people because he just knew all these different kinds of like Force powers, and so it's a force to be reckoned with.
Funny. Yeah.
I hated that. It's never do that
again. I don't know entirely.
You know what we need to bring back from the EU? We need to bring back Starkiller from the Force Unleashed. We need a man who can pull down a fucking Star Destroyer with the Force. Good
Force
Lord.
Unleashed was a great game.
It was really fun. Force Unleashed 2,
that's true.
Pretty weird.
Kind of bad.
Force Unleashed 1. Good romp. Good time. Yeah.
What a great romp.
I'm sorry if you guys aren't going to hear it, but I'm hoping the recording isn't picking it up either. For some reason, my keyboard just keeps disconnecting and reconnecting itself over and over again. So if this shows up in the recording, I'm just going to say it now. I apologize. I don't know why it's been doing this. I think my computer, like, I have so much like peripheral shit plugged into it that it might just be maxing out the power wattage and is just having a hard time keeping the keyboard connected. But
speaking of computers, I have a 3080 in my cart on B&H, and the checkout's beginning at 5:45.
Yo, dude, I just fucking got mine. It has not been canceled yet by Amazon. I am so happy.
This one's an Asus Republic of Gamers Strike X one, so
the fucking names they give this shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just need to get the new CPU, and then everything else should be relatively easy to buy.
Dude, freaking Newegg just had a huge drop yesterday. I missed everything.
Fuck. Yeah. You just gotta...
There's one good deal that I saw. The 5950 came with a 500 gig 980 Pro NVMe SSD.
That is pretty good. Sorry, what were you saying, Brandon?
Oh, I've been thinking about just buying like a PS5 on my credit card and then returning it once I'm done playing Cyberpunk. Like I literally have no interest. I have no interest in actually owning a PS5. I really want to play Cyberpunk. I can't on my PC right now.
No, yeah.
So
you definitely can't play it on your PS4. So
Absolutely not.
I mean, if we're here with the last 3 minutes, God, the Cyberpunk drama is insane. PlayStation pulling it off the digital store.
Yeah.
That's some real shit right there.
I legitimately, at this point, I'm wondering if I should just not even bother picking it up and just wait for them to fix all their shit. And, like, by that time, I'll have my new computer, so I can just, you know...
Just wait for the Black Friday Cyberpunk bundle, and you'll be fine. I'm sure
but by that time, CD Projekt Red might be shut down. They're losing so much money. Their stocks are down. Dude, literally the founders and everything just lost $1 billion of revenue. Like their projected sales went down like 6 million. Like it's not looking good for CD Projekt Red.
Like,
I think they'll be fine.
They
literally they'll be fine.
Aren't they like in a special situation though with like how game development is handled in Poland, where they're like can be subsidized by the government somehow?
The government already did subsidize for Cyberpunk.
Oh well, maybe they'll. Just
I think they'll have literally no problem. It was. Are people returning the game on Steam? Because it was the most bought game. Okay, that actually matters. Why are they returning it?
They're returning it everywhere because, like, while
the bugs are just bad everywhere. Like, it's really bad on PS4 and Xbox One, but like, there's still issues on PC, even on the new cards.
If it's the best, if there are people returning on Steam, I'm wrong, obviously, but if it's selling as well as it's been selling on Steam, I don't really think it matters what happens anywhere else. Like, it is like legitimately the best-selling game ever on Steam. I'm pretty sure, like ever.
Maybe.
At a certain point, like it's hard to have the best-selling game on a platform ever in the history of the platform, and then not like break even.
Yeah.
But I could see them getting fucked by Sony, like suing them. If Sony's like, hey, you put this thing out, you cost us this many $1 million in refunds, like I could definitely see them. That's how they go down, right? Is if they start getting sued by people, or there's a class action lawsuit.
Yeah.
I mean, so like first off, Sony never even had a refund process to begin with. Like their refund process was like,
fuck yourself.
If you downloaded the game, you could not refund your game. So like they didn't even have one, and this forced them into it. And Sony's like, fuck it, we're just gonna take this game off the market. But Sony and Xbox digitally are offering full refunds. Retail stores now are offering full refunds even if the game is open and it's like a week later, you have until a certain date. Steam has been offering refunds because like I have a 2080 Ti and I can barely run the fucking game. Like it is like the game is so poorly optimized. Like I know there's like a whole bunch of like VRAM leakage and everything. Like the game's just not ready. It shouldn't have been out.
Yeah.
So, and the game is just a buggy mess. Like it's definitely, as much as I love playing Cyberpunk, like I love the time I spent with it so far because it's exactly what I wanted, which is open world Blade Runner.
Right.
Don't say that so easily. That's like you're about to like
you're gonna kill Brayden.
That's all I wanted was open world Blade Runner. That's what you get. But the problem is, like, for every hour that you're immersed, you get like 3 hours of like fighting with the game, and that's the problem. Is you are constantly fighting with the game to have enjoyment.
Yeah, and that sucks. It really seems like if the bugs weren't there, it would have like.
Kind of is how I feel with Valhalla right now. I was playing last night and it crashed fucking twice, and it's really bugging the shit out of me.
Do you know how many people work at CD Projekt Red?
No.
It's 250 people.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's nothing. Like, that's the thing. Also, is like they've been paying 250 people for years to make this game. They can pay 250 people the nothing they're already probably paying them for the next year to fix this game, right? Like, like that's the thing is people, that's why I have a hard time believing they're gonna like shut down, is because like they don't have a lot of overhead. They're not like EA, where EA is like a multi-billion-dollar company, right? And they decided to spend every dollar they have for an entire year for some godforsaken reason of this billion-dollar company to make one game.
The problem is that I see is the developers were treated shittily, like during like towards the end of the Cyberpunk development. Like if they just get up and leave, because
probably the whole thing, right? Like
But the thing is, like, you never heard these problems with Witcher, and Witcher 3 came out buggy, but not like this. Like Witcher 3 was still like a fantastic game.
Well, and
like,
but that's the whole thing. Is like they didn't have the pressure. There was no pressure on them because they made The Witchers 1 and 2, which were like okay, and then the Witcher 3 was like the best thing ever.
to be fair, also, like, most people probably did not buy The Witcher 3 on release day, right?
Yeah. No,
they probably bought it like
I bought it on release day because I love Witcher 2.
Sure.
But like after
I just mean like
after it blew up,
Witcher 3 exploded, right?
Mhm.
And so there was probably time for the game to like get fixed a little bit before people started looking at it this way. So yeah, they shouldn't. I mean, I'm not like defending Crunch or anything. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying, like, I seriously doubt the company will go under. And if it does go under, it'll be for like really sketchy tax reasons, so that these like people who are in charge can make a shit ton of money and then shut the business down and not have to worry about this anymore. Yeah. That's the only reason I can see them shutting down, really.
Yeah.
Or they get sued by Sony for a shit ton of money, which.
I'm probably going to play Cyberpunk because I have the Series X, and it runs a lot better on a Series X than it does on my PC, so I might just kind of transfer over there. I'm not too far into the PC version to I got to restart.
Yeah, I would only get a console to play Cyberpunk. That's
dude, you got to get a PS5 for the exclusives. They're so good.
Yeah, although I will say, like, generally I'm a PlayStation like fanboy. The Xbox Game Pass is getting to a point where it's like really appealing. It's like, oh, this is too good for me to like not at least consider.
To be completely honest, like, if you don't want to spend $500 on a console, I understand that. The Series S is such a good like entry point into next gen gaming with Game Pass. Like $300 for a 1440p machine, and you get Game Pass and all these games. It's great. Yeah. Like, it's not like a lot of.
How does that play Cyberpunk, the Series S?
So people who said that the Series S, it's a lock 30, and it never goes under. They said actually Series S is one of the better versions. But it's like, it pretty much runs it in the Series X quality mode. You just don't get the performance mode. So if you are about 60 frames, Series X and PS5 is the way to go. But if you really don't care about frames, I want to see quality, like Series S is actually very good. Digital Foundry did the whole video on the next gen versions.
Yeah, I'm not personally probably going to pick up any of that, but I might. I mean, there's a chance. Yeah. I really want to play.
I really want to play Cyberpunk. This is a very good time for budget gaming. Like there are good options out there for people, which is great.
Yeah.
Gives more people the option to get into gaming. We are an hour in, and this fucking keyboard disconnect is pissing me off as much as I'm assuming it's going to piss the viewers off. So I'm going to cut it here. Thank you guys for joining me. We legitimately basically filled the entire time with just discussion on that finale episode because there was just so much fucking cool shit going on with it. So I mean, we totally spoiled it, but if you still haven't seen it, you should definitely watch the Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2, and definitely that finale. Until next time, peace out and stay safe.
See ya.